Smith. The 0-2. Left side, Swanson to first. The Browns are world champions.
Dobbs heaves it. They're bunched up in the end zone. It's tipped up. It's caught. It is caught. Jawan Jennings. Jawan Jennings.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The national champion is clad in big orange.
Swing and drive. Bouncing right. Welcome to the show.
Welcome into a Sunday afternoon edition of 865 Media's The Show. I'm Josh Stallard here as always with a special guest tonight, Brian Snicker, coach of the Braves. Sorry, I'm getting you guys mixed up with the 6U Braves and the Atlanta Braves because they're both playing about the same, hitting about the same right now. But Craig Cox, as always.
What's up? And go Braves.
New found father, Jacob Woods.
How's it going, guys?
Baby's sleeping right now. We are back for a baseball edition, of course, because it's baseball season. We got the NFL draft going on. Lots of balls getting picked compared to years past, so that's exciting. We've got the NBA playoffs a little bit I'd like to touch on. And, of course, the Braves with their struggles. But I'd like to start with the team that wins all the time, and that's Tony Vitello and the baseball balls. Just keeping things rolling. Just finished up a series win over Auburn. The bats were out, and it's almost weird. We take their first game Friday night. It was a close game up until about the 7th inning, and then Ortega and company just unload and end up winning 17-4, I believe. And then we come back, and it was odd because I'm not used to this thing that the Vols do here lately. We actually lost the game, so that put the rubber match today on Sunday. And of course, we take care of Auburn. Huge game, huge series. Auburn's one of the better teams in the SEC, and we once again win another series and keep it rolling.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful thing, man. And I just got to tell you, I love the fact that Tennessee baseball has become the biggest villains in the SEC. I love it. I love to get on Twitter and see the Arkansas fans I'm sitting there chirping us. And it's like, dude, I can count the number of losses on one hand that Tennessee has. You or none of the SEC can do the same. So shut up, woo pig, stern or stumble, shut up.
Yeah, I didn't know there was so many Arkansas fans on. I mean, I know they had a good, decent following, but I didn't know there was quite as many as they were. And it's like a weird rivalry, even because normally you don't think Arkansas is really a rivalry for Tennessee. It's more like a Twitter rivalry, actually, which is kind of weird. But yeah, it's 2022. But yeah, we got a Twitter rivalry going on with Arkansas, and they talk more than any other fans. It's kind of odd, but I believe the SEC kind of robbed us this year of having that series between us and Arkansas, because that would have been a great series. Probably a good chance we'll play them in the SEC tournament. But yeah, Ben Joyce came in today.
105. 105.
I was listening to the pregame show a little bit earlier, And let me say something about John Wilkerson. Like, I know he's gotten a lot of praise, but I've gotten to a point where I think I almost enjoy listening to John Wilkerson a little bit better at some points than actually watching the game. And that's really weird.
Oh, yeah.
That's not normal. And it's just like, he's just so into it. And like, he's on his stuff and like, he's like dialed into the game. And he cares more than probably anybody that's listening. You know, he's a Vol homer. He does a great job. And I feel like because I don't know how long he's done UT baseball, but I feel like he's starting to get a little bit more of him out there because, you know, Tennessee's the number one team in the country. And it's like more people are listening and realizing how great he is. So I just want to give him a little shout out because I really have enjoyed that. I was cleaning out my garage earlier. And like I said, I was listening to the pregame show and Tony Vitello was saying how Ben Joyce has just been dying to get out there because, you know, he's not really been pitching. We have our normal kind of rotation and guys coming out of the bullpen, and a lot of the guys we have coming out of the bullpen go for multiple innings. And he said he was just ready to go tonight. And he came in probably in the seventh inning with a couple runners on. And that was in a big spot because it was tied 3-3, I believe. Yeah, 3-3. So, I mean, you got the series on the line, and he just starts unloading. I mean, Vitello was right. He even said in the pregame, he's like, Ben Joyce is going to play today. And, I mean, he finished the game out from the seventh inning on, just throwing gas, 105 miles an hour. I mean, we have a diamond in the rough right there, Ben Joyce, and it was really nice to see him go take control of that game and win us the series. And he was fired up after that final pitch and us getting the win over Auburn for the series.
And I'll tell you something else that's really cool is like Tennessee baseball, you know, in our lifetimes in the 90s with Delmonico, you know, like the Vols were good. And then we get Todd Raleigh and Dave Serrano, however you say that dude's name. And, you know, we kind of went down. And then or now I can't get on Facebook or Twitter and see non-Tennessee related sites or not see Ben Joyce on their pitching. I mean, like MLB on Fox, John Boy Media, like all these baseball sites that have nothing to do with SEC baseball are like, oh my goodness, dude, it's 105 miles an hour. Or I would put money on the line. I'd put $1 million up and say that I could go find 30 people that played college baseball and put them up against or Ben Joyce, and none of them are going to hit it. And to touch on your thing about John Wilkerson is the best Tennessee Vol Network and 99 employee they've ever had. Like John Wilkerson does a fantastic job. Or you're exactly right. Like baseball is such a descriptive game that, or I'm with you, Josh. I like listening to the radio more than I like to watch on television. Like when I was growing up and the Braves would be playing, or I would go outside and turn the Braves on the radio on my little boombox in the driveway and throw a tennis ball up against the wall and sit there and listen to Braves like baseball. Jim Powell, Don Sutton, and then Ben Ingram. Now he's a star out of nowhere on the radio. I love listening to Ben Ingram when the Braves are playing. But I mean, I think the funniest thing from this weekend is the Tony V throwing the bat back, you know, after they flipped it into our dugout. And I was ready for fireworks when that happened last night. And I've seen some people on Twitter and social media say that you either love Tony V or you hate Tony V. And sometimes he's immature and sometimes he does. I don't care. Tony V is the best coach in the SEC, if not the NCAA. And I'm glad he's at Tennessee. And I will fight anybody that wants to differ from my opinion on that.
Yeah, I mean, Tony V can take it from 0 to 100 real quick, real freaking quick, because he's just over there chilling in the dugout. He just looks like I don't know. He just sits there and he's like boiling in his head. And like the second he gets a chance to get fired up out there and go, like he's right there. I mean, like Drew Gilbert is like his mini me.
Yeah.
Like, I swear, like that's got to be his son or something. I don't know. Like at any point, both of those guys are just ready to go. And like you said, I don't know what that little celebration they do every time they get a double, where they like get down on one knee and just like, what is that? What they do? Or they just go, they just cover their face. Like I don't even know what that is, but it's the coolest celebration. And
I mean,
it's
just the
like
beauty of baseball too.
It's probably like one of those things. If you know, you know. But yeah, I think this team at this point of the season, we have not lost a game on the road. We have not. How many games have we lost? 4 games now total. We've not lost a series in the SEC. I hate to say this, it's championship or bust. Like we've been so good this year. I'm not going to say it's a disappointing season if we go to Omaha and lose, but it is probably expected now that we need to win the national championship with all the shit we've talked and all of the games we've won.
Oh, yeah, dude. For sure. It's Omaha or bust. I mean, you know, after we've come out and we've been the villain and we've come out and now we have 4 losses. I think the next team that's anywhere close to is 8 or 9 losses. Yeah, it's Omaha or bust. And if you go to Omaha and like you bust out, you know, like early, that's a failure. So yeah, you're definitely right there.
Yeah, I mean, we've got series, of course, the midweek game, series against Kentucky, and a series against Georgia the following weekend, and Mississippi. So we've got 3 more SEC series. 2 more SEC. No, yeah, 3 more SEC series, and then Hoover for the rest of May.
Yeah, it's Kentucky, Mississippi State, and Georgia, correct?
Yeah. Well, Georgia.
And then like Tennessee can only like lose 1 more game and still have a chance at the record for the like best SEC season. Too, I saw that little tidbit today.
Yeah, Georgia's going to be a tough series. They're pretty damn good. They're a top 10 team. I'd say they're probably them and Arkansas are probably the best 2 teams other than us in the SEC. So I could see us having some trouble with Georgia, Mississippi State, of course, defending national champions. So I mean, we'll see how it goes, but it's like we got a good chance. I remember 2 or 3 years ago, it was almost like we're happy to win a series, or we're against a good team, a really good team. We're happy to like win 1 game out of the series. Now it's like we're almost disappointed, or it's just unusual for us to even lose 1 game in a series. So I just tell you how far we've come, and you know we're just deep. Ortega, I mean, he has just been lighting it up lately. That dude has just been like money all over the like hitting bombs. That he hit the I think he hit the grand slam on Friday.
Yeah, on Friday. Yeah, that was him. That was Ortega
to open that game up. And it don't take us long. I mean, that's why you know this team's never out of it. It's like we may get down 4-2 here and there or whatever, but we always got a chance to bust it wide open. So just loving what we're doing right now with the baseball team, and keep this run going, like I said, and see what we do in Hoover. And I would like a date with old Dave Van Horn again. And
you don't talk about DVH like that. You do not talk about DVH. As soon as I get off of my shift at Walmart, I'm coming to whip your talk about Dave Van Horn.
Put some respect on that man's name. He's won 2 national championships. Actually, he's won that's Tim Corbin. They were saying that about. Put some respect on Tim Corbin's name. He's won 2 national titles.
Yeah. Welcome to Vol baseball, baby.
Oh yeah, but yeah. Moving on a little bit, I want to jump into a little MLB and Braves baseball. Looking not great to start off the season. Like I stated earlier, I don't know what's going on with your squad, Coach Cox, not Snicker. Keep getting y'all mixed up, but I know one Braves team's doing all right, and the other Braves team is under 500. So,
it's like the baby Braves are the one who's doing all right. You know, we're coming along. We're finding our little like nooks and crannies we need to fix. But I'm going to give the Braves some credit because, and I say this because, like the Braves like don't start out well. I mean, that's just not something that happens in Atlanta. And the Mets are already sitting up there, you know, like planning their World Series parade. The Mets are going to Mets, okay? Enjoy your April or accomplishments. Like you threw a no-hitter last night with almost or half the pitching staff. So I don't really care there. But the only thing that I'm worried about happened on Thursday, and that was the fact that Ronnie is back.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. That we got him in the DH a little bit, bringing him back slow, but I mean that's obviously going to make a huge difference in the line. The best player in baseball. That'll put us over the hump. I mean, we just don't have a lot of pop right now in our lineup. Like a lot of people struggling. Maybe, you know, Acuna can get out there and when he starts playing more, like steal some bases, you know, get us in scoring position a little bit more often. But yeah, I mean, Eddie Rosario is just, we're looking like I know we had this question before the free agency on our podcast, but Eddie Rosario is probably maybe the worst option that we could have re-signed at this point. I mean, he's still got a chance to, you know, right the wrongs, but like you got Travis DeMeritt starting over him at this point. Rosario's not even playing. I mean, so that's looking like we should have maybe signed Jock Peterson or.
Well, Rosario had that eye surgery.
Yeah.
So he's out for a little bit. But like, here's my thing. Did that just all of a sudden happen, or is it something that's been getting progressively worse? I mean, I'm not an optometrist, but I mean, it's just kind of weird for you to be hitting, you know, like sub 100 and then be like, oh, I need eye surgery. You know what I mean? But I totally agree with you on that. If you would have given me Jorge Soler, Jock Peterson, and Eddie Rosario to re-sign, and I could only take one player, I would have taken Jorge Soler.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what the money situation. I think he was probably going to command a little bit more, but I mean, you saw what kind of power he has, and like he goes to the Marlins, of course, so we got to like see him early. It's like, how do we see Freddie Freeman and Soler so damn early in the season? Like,
I don't know.
Like, God, can we not wait? Can we just wait to rip that Band-Aid off? It's like, I mean,
well, and I totally. Well, I was just going to say, I totally like get like Soler going to Miami. You know, like he goes to Miami and he's got like more of a like chance out there to shine and make a name for himself as an everyday player with the Marlins more than he would have with the Braves. Like that like went out west, or he can suck it. So, but you know what's funny? The Braves have played like 23 games now, and I haven't really missed Freddie Freeman. And I thought I would. I thought that I would miss seeing that left-hander get up there, you know, in the 3-hole. But I don't know if it's just because I'm a scoring lover or what, but I don't miss him at all.
No, I mean, I think we'd be in the same exact position with Freddie. It's not a difference whether we have Freddie or not.
No, it's been a difference that we haven't had Ronald. I mean, that's for sure.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, it's a good chance the Mets are going to they're playing the Phillies right now. Hopefully the Phillies will beat them. But, like, I'm not too worried. We got a 4-game series against the Mets next week. So, say, for instance, the Mets lose tonight and then we take 3 out of 4 from the Mets. I mean, we're perfectly fine. You know, it's still really early. We still got a chance to win the division, of course, and, you know, be one of the better teams. But it's kind of like last year. I mean, we're just starting off slow. I mean, we're under 500, but we don't need to get too far under 500. I mean, we just lost a series to the Rangers, and they're probably one of the worst teams in baseball.
Yeah, the Rangers aren't good, man. I thought that they after or spending so much money in the offseason, getting people like Corey Seager and or a couple other guys, I actually thought that the Rangers would be, you know, like kind of decent, and they're not. Which really sucks because if you think about this, Dallas, Texas is a very big market for like sports. You got the Cowboys, you got the Mavericks, you got the Dallas Stars, you got the Texas Rangers. The Texas Ranger fans are praying and begging, would do anything in the world for the Rangers to be good at baseball, and it's just not going to happen.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, you think about the Rangers, like, what would you rather do? Like, I don't know, like go to the DMV or like watch the Rangers play baseball.
Well, it's kind of like this for Texas Ranger fans, you know, like if somebody came up to me and they were like, so, or as far as the Braves, like what's the biggest accomplishment that's happened in the last 40 years? And you're like, well, we won the World Series last year. You go up to like, or a Texas Ranger fan, you go, so what's the biggest accomplishment in the last 40 years? Well, Nolan Ryan played for us. Oh, okay, cool. Because every time that you watch a Texas Ranger game, it's like, Nolan Ryan's down there. It's like, has anything else happened in Texas since Nolan Ryan beat the shit out of Robin Ventura? Like, holy crap.
Yeah, I don't think anybody cares about the Texas Rangers much. But, yeah.
No.
Moving on, though, I mean, we had five Tennessee NFL drafts, of course. 5 Tennessee players drafted. And that is a huge jump from where we've been in years past. Alontae Taylor, somewhat surprisingly, getting drafted towards the beginning to middle of the second round to the Saints. That was surprising, and that was cool to see. I didn't envision him jumping that far up into the second round. I thought he was maybe like third rounder, but he ran a good 40 in the combine, and he had a great year. I've enjoyed watching him. You know, he's a Tennessee kid coming out there from Middle Tennessee. He was one of the higher rated commits in his class. I remember coming out. He was a high 4-star and came in as a wide receiver. I remember he wanted to play wide receiver when he first came in, but getting drafted second round by the Saints, that's pretty cool. And then you had who got drafted after that? Was it not Butler?
It's Velus, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, Velus Jones going to the Bears.
Yeah, it was Velus with the Bears.
Yeah. That was a huge.
Then Matthew Butler, Cade Mays,
and yeah, so it was nice seeing these guys get drafted. I'm a little disappointed that Cade Mays ended up in a 5th or 6th rounder though. I've always thought he had a way higher ceiling than that. Maybe he'll be like Trey Smith, you know, and just be better in the NFL than expected. But yeah, it was good seeing those guys get drafted. I remember years under Pruitt, we didn't have anyone get drafted.
No. And I think the biggest surprise for me in the draft was that Garantano didn't go in the first or second round. But I did hear if you need a quarterback for your practice squad, he is really good in practice, really, really good. So he'll probably be, you know, on Mel Copper's short list there for practice squad quarterbacks.
Yeah, yes, definitely. but yeah, the Vols making a name for themselves out there. I think Todd Chandler was drafted, former Vol. So
to the Vikings. So that's good. I do want to hit on something to our friends there in the mid-state. What the hell are the Titans freaking doing? Like, what are they doing? I mean, they kind of salvaged the draft, like picking up like Willis there or late, and then I think they got Hassan Haskins, like a kid out of Michigan, or back there in the backfield with Derrick Henry. But what are you doing trading A.J. Brown on Thursday night to the Eagles? Like, I saw that on Twitter and I was like, oh my God. And it's almost like the Titans, kind of choked in the playoffs last year. And then like the front office is like, okay, well, let's blow it all up. Let's implode it. Let's start a rebuild. And to see Mike Vrabel's like face when he found out that trade happened, he was not in the loop on that. And I will or die on that hill. Like the GM, the owners, the people in the front office did not consult that with him, because as a head coach, I would have said no to getting rid of A.J. Brown. Oh, let's play a little game real quick. Name one receiver who plays on the Titans off the top of your head right now, because I can't name one.
I don't know. Traylon Burks.
Who the hell's that guy?
The guy they just drafted.
Whose horse is that?
No, they actually did sign Robert Woods, though.
Well, okay, so I do know one name there, like Robert Woods.
I'm going to push back a little bit on that, just because A.J. Brown only had one more year on his contract, though. So the type of money that these wide receivers are demanding, i.e. Deebo Samuel, A.J. Brown, like these guys are wanting ridiculous amounts of money. It's like, are you going to invest that much in one wide receiver? He better be damn good, close to Jerry Rice, because you're not going to be able to pay anybody else. It's kind of like quarterbacks now. It's like you got to overpay for one receiver, and you got to overpay for quarterbacks, but it makes sense to overpay for a quarterback because they can make a difference. A lot of times it's hard for one wide receiver to make that big of a difference. And I kind of think that's why the Titans are like, screw it. We can draft his replacement, let him walk. He's only got one more year on his contract, and get another draft pick. I'm not saying that it was a perfect decision, but getting rid of one of the best wide receivers. But if he doesn't want to be there, he doesn't want to be there. Same with Deebo Samuel. I'm about fed up with him. How stupid could you be to say, oh, I don't want to do a hybrid role anymore. I want to be strictly a wide receiver. That's perfectly fine, but I wouldn't be telling people that until after I sign my new contract, you moron. What?
Yeah. I'll meet you in the middle on that. I understand the reasoning behind it, but it's just so funny to see. And, dude, on Thursday night, Titans fans were ready to burn down Nissan Stadium, and I was going to go give them the gas to do it because that place is a dump anyway. But, I mean, like those fans on Twitter and on Facebook, like a lot of the people that like we went to school with and, from East Tennessee here on Facebook, were like, what are they doing? And I was like, ha, 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 bastards. So, I mean, the Titans did, they did salvage their draft. And, this is coming from a guy whose team only had 4 picks in the entire draft. So, I didn't really pay attention much to the NFL draft this weekend. But it was so funny just to see people being like, what are they doing? So, I mean, I'll meet you on the middle there, dude. But you know what? The thing about it is Tyreek Hill set the bar for all these receivers. And it's kind of like, every receiver that's, in the top 20 in the NFL is going to be like, okay, where's my money at? And they're going to start, going. And I get it. I mean, like you're in the NFL, man. I mean, like you can play, a down this week and then like that be your last down ever because you get hurt or something. Like get it while you can. I understand that. But I also see your point. If you don't want to be there, then don't be there. And I guess it was, like kind of a safety valve, check off or if you don't want to be here, then we're just going to like trade you and we're going to, like get this other receiver. I mean, I do get that. So they saved some money there. But it was just funny to see the Titans fans this weekend absolutely losing their minds.
Yeah, I mean, you always think probably your second best player. It's not really good to get rid of them. So I completely understand that. But yeah, you got the first quarterback taken, Kenny Pickett. Of course, torched us and Neyland, staying at home, going to Pittsburgh.
Wait, are you talking about Kenny Heisman?
Kenny Heisman.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, just a kind of pathetic draft for quarterbacks, really. And, in the past years, you've seen 4 or 5 quarterbacks taken in the first round. And this year you only have 1, which was odd. But I guess, it's more of a receiver draft. And of course, the one team you think who would want to draft a wide receiver who hasn't drafted a wide receiver in 20 years in the first round, the Green Bay Packers, they decide, no, we don't need a wide receiver. We need Quay Walker, linebacker of Georgia, because, that's what the Packers do. They're like, damned if we're going to – there is somebody who really hates Aaron Rodgers in that front office. They are damned if they're not going to draft a wide receiver in the first round.
I can just see the GM in Green Bay being like, "Hey, Aaron, we're going to get your receiver." Oh, really? Psych.
Hey, they did get a wide receiver in the second round, though. They even traded up for him. Didn't actually play D1 football, but Christian Watson, North Dakota State.
Oh,
so
man.
Got a wide receiver.
Oh, gosh, dude. Like, just imagine being Aaron Rodgers watching the draft and being like, all right, so Devontae Adams isn't here anymore. Let's get a receiver. Damn it.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, I was a little bit more tuned into the NFL draft this year just because there was a lot of balls getting drafted. It was good to see us kind of getting back in the mix and, seeing University of Tennessee get some credit. So I enjoyed the draft. I mean, the 49ers didn't have a lot of draft picks. I didn't really recognize too many of the guys that were getting drafted, but overall, like I said, pretty cool to see some of the balls getting back in there. I want to talk a little bit about the off season for the men's basketball team, and I don't know if this is like the new normal, quote unquote, that we always hear nowadays, the overused saying ever since COVID started, but it's like half our team is in the transfer portal, and at what point do we start to worry a little bit? We got Tyreek Key, so I mean that's probably a pretty good pickup, but overall you can use it to your advantage or use it to a disadvantage. I don't think anybody's really going to hurt us the most. I would say Huntley Hatfield, and I didn't think he would transfer because he was getting so much playing time towards the end of the season. And I've listened to Russell Smith, and they were kind of making a good point. It's like, dude, you have this guy that's moving, these kids that are moving places every year, like Justin Powell's in the transfer portal right now. He went from Auburn to Tennessee to somewhere else. It's like, you keep transferring around, you're never going to have time to develop. Like, if you actually stick around and stay somewhere, you can, like, have your coaches get in tune with you, figure out what you got to get, what you need to do to get better. And you're a loyal teammate. It's like, there's none of that nowadays. And I'm fine with NIL. Like, pay the players whatever you want. It's not my freaking money. I don't care if we want to pay a quarterback $30 million more than an NFL quarterback to come here. I don't care. It's not my money. Pay the players, please. But the freaking transfer portal crap mixed with NIL is just a bad combination. Like, you got to have one or the other. NIL is not going away. The transfer portal, something needs to be done about it. Like, it's just stupid to see all these players like transferring, like having teams having to rebuild your rosters. Yeah, you can upgrade, and other teams can get the play by the players or whatever. But it's just, I don't like the way it's going. I don't like I like seeing players develop. I like seeing, guys wait a year or two and get their turn and actually have time to do something rather than screw it. I'm just going to transfer it and play as a freshman. It's like there's only 5 spots on the floor in basketball, especially,
I think the number one thing they need to do right now is they need to get rid of the immediate eligibility. I mean, that was a cool thing during the pandemic. We're going to allow you guys to transfer if you want to. It was kind of life sucks right now. Let's just go ahead and do something cool for you guys. If you want to go to another school, you can, and you'll be immediately eligible. But get rid of that now, and the transfer portal is going to drop, 50%, as far as the volume in it. I'm like you with the NIL deals. I freaking love it. I mean, if I was a 17-year-old kid and I was going to be, a football recruit or basketball recruit, hell yeah, I want some money. I'm putting, a lot of time in for free, and I get the scholarship thing, but I'm putting a lot of time in, or on my own time, to work out and to go to these practices and go to class. And, so give me a little something, or better than my monthly stipend. So, but I think if you got, rid of the immediate, that's a tongue twister for some reason, or the immediate eligibility, I think that you would, or you get rid of the problem. And, it's kind of funny, college basketball and college football are in such a, rough place right now. They're chasing off Mark Emmert. I didn't think Mark Emmert could die, but he's retiring. He's had enough of it. So, I mean, there's a lot going on. And just Justin Powell. All right, Justin Powell, here's the thing, dude, you can shoot, but there's also another side of the ball called defense. We need you to play that too. And so it's kind of well, we're going to miss your 3-point, but we're really not going to miss your defense. See you, dude. And I'm kind of like you, the Huntley Hatfield thing. I don't understand it. I don't know. Maybe he didn't, enjoy being at Tennessee. I don't see how anybody in their right mind could not want to live here, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, and it is kind of worrisome, when you look at your roster and you have all these kids that are, going to the transfer portal, and it's okay, well, I guess we'll see what we have next year. We're losing Kennedy. We lost Victor Bailey. We lost Justin Powell. We lost some Huntley Hatfield. That other kid. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. He didn't even really play this year. But this center, power forward kid that transferred. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. Hopefully, Josiah and Vescovy come back. I don't really see them getting drafted. No offense to them, they were both great players, but I just don't see them getting drafted this year, anyway. So, I guess we'll sit around and wait and see what happens.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, I mean, some of those guys, I mean, you got to trim the fat. You got to search in the transfer portal to get better. That's part of the game now. But at what point do we start losing too many guys? We got to fill out the rest of our roster, and we've only got one guy in the transfer portal. I know we're in on some of these other guys, but, there's been questions asked with the NIL thing. Barnes is the old school guy. How much is he cool with paying these players? That's a thing. You got to look at it from a player's point of view too. It's real easy for an 18, 19-year-old, 20-year-old kid to get a big head when they're getting paid hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars, and then they're getting, they're going to get talked to like a dog by some of these coaches that are hard on their kids. They're hard coaches like Rick Barnes. They're tough on their kids. That's how they are. And some of those kids are thinking in their head, you can't talk to me like that because I make just about as much money as you do. And it's that's just what they got to deal with nowadays. And I think that's why you're seeing some of these older coaches retire because the game's starting to pass them by a little bit as far as that, and like they don't want to deal with that shit. Like they don't want to have to deal with these players like trying to tell them what to do. That's not how it's ever been. And they're like, we've made enough money, let's hang it up. I mean, or go, see if they can go to the NBA like Jay Wright. I mean, I see him going to the NBA, but he's one of the best coaches in the game. Like he was in the
and
Final
surprisingly
Four.
retired too. I mean, that came out of nowhere.
Yeah, like so. I don't know. Like something definitely needs to be done about it, and I don't think it's the NIL thing. I think it's just the perfect combination, like mixing freaking dark liquor and light liquor. You mix those together, it's just not going to end well, and it's not going to end well right now. And it's also another aspect of it too is what people don't really talk about a lot, but I see high school kids talking about it is the fact that you got that extra year of eligibility, so there's they're holding out for people in the transfer portal, so it's hurting some of these college kids. I've said this before. It's like you're hurting some of these kids that are trying to get scholarships, and now they're not going to get a chance to go play somewhere because somebody else is taking their spot from the portal. They're waiting on somebody from the portal. So I mean, it's just who knows, man. But anyways, that's about it. I know, Craig, you're not big into the NBA, but I've enjoyed watching a little bit of the NBA playoffs. I usually get into it about this time, and start watching a little bit because they actually play a little bit of defense during the playoffs. So it's kind of a little bit interesting to watch. But, the Memphis Grizzlies moving on, beating the Timberwolves. That was pretty cool to see. I know they're playing the Warriors in a series right now. That'll be interesting. The Celtics swept the Nets, surprisingly. You had Kyrie Irving flipping off the fans and stuff. That was pretty fun to see. So, but yeah, it's a pretty exciting time in sports right now. I've been watching a lot of baseball, a lot of basketball, but always a little bit of golf here and there too. Excited for the next major. I'm not sure exactly when that one's going to be, but should be coming up fairly soon. You got anything else, Craig?
Besides the fact that the NBA is unwatchable, no. I think I would rather watch like the WNBA more than I want to watch the NBA because it's just like you said though with like Kyrie Irving. Okay, Kyrie Irving. You got Durant, you got Kyrie, and or who's the other like dude on the Nets? It's not Harden anymore.
Well, they did have Harden, but he got traded.
Yeah, he got traded. See, that's how much I don't watch that crap. But and they're supposed to be the team to beat, and like they get swept by Grant Williams and the Celtics. I mean, that's kind of funny. But the thing about the NBA that really bothers me is you don't see guys upset when they lose a series and that their season's over. I mean, like think back to like the early like 2000s, like KD on the bench crying when they lost to the Lakers. I mean, show me that heart, dude. Like Kyrie's in there in the damn like press conference smiling, dude. You just got swept. What are you smiling about? What are you smiling about, man? You've like taken everybody in Brooklyn and put them, in a shitty place, but you're like, it's all right, dog. I'm going to smile during this press conference. Okay, well, I tell you what, I won't be tuning in to watch any of those playoff games. Now, or when the finals happen, depending on who's in the finals, I may watch, but if there's a baseball game on, probably not. So, anyway, that's my NBA take on that for your NBA expert. So,
I know we'll have to get Austin Woods on here to talk a little bit NBA here soon.
I don't want to hear about John Morant for 45 minutes, though.
Well. Hey, I like John Morant a little bit, man. He's pretty damn good. Especially that one purple strand of hair, man. That's the way he plays so good.
Or it's called fashion. Like, look it up.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah. One more shout out, Theo Jackson. When we were talking about the
Oh yeah, Theo.
we didn't mention Theo Jackson. That was kind of a little bit of a surprise, but that's cool to see him get drafted too by the Titans, your favorite team.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I just imagine the feeling that he felt, and they're like, "Hey, like Theo, you're getting drafted. Where am I going? I'm going to Nashville. Damn it! Like 9-8, 8-9 for the rest of my life. That one's for you, Austin Styles."
But yeah, nothing like having a nice Sunday afternoon watching Ben Joyce throw 105, 106 miles an hour.
That's crazy. That's absolutely insane.
Just a side note on that, those were the fastest pitches in NCAA history and the Guinness World Record for the fastest pitch in
Holy smokes. I mean, if I could, like have a couple beers before I did it, because I sure as hell wouldn't stand in there and like sober. But I'd like to drink a couple beers and get up there and just see how fast 105 is in real time in like real situation, and hope to God he didn't hit me, because if he hits
that's what I was gonna say. How much would it take for you to get willingly get hit by a pitch?
Dude, it would have to be a 4-digit number. It would have to be, dude. Like 95, I've gotten like hit by baseball or in the low 90s, like maybe somewhere around in there. And it literally feels like your world stops. Add 15 miles an hour to that and have it hit you like anywhere that there's not any kind of meat. Like, just imagine that in your back. Holy crap.
Yeah. I'd take that hit and I'd immediately turn around and give a chest bump to Tony Vitello.
Well, you may not have to go over there and engage in the chest bump. He may come out and do it for you, as the ump found out a couple weeks ago. So,
yeah, definitely.
But I'm glad that Tony V's my coach, baby. I'm loving the way things are looking out on Rocky Top right now. You got Heupel, Barnes, and Tony V. I mean, I'll take it, man. That's a hell of a trio. And don't forget about old Jolly and the girls.
Heck yeah. Tennessee football recruiting really well right now. Getting back in the mix with some of the Tennessee kids. That's always a good thing. You got to get your in-state kids that you want. So, yeah, I'm real excited about that, and looking forward to seeing what this baseball team does the rest of the year, and hopefully the Braves can get back on track.
I think if the Braves can find an answer in their rotation, I think the Braves will be okay. I think the Braves, or let's get Rosario back from the IL there with his eye surgery. Let's try to figure out something, in our rotation. Or just like I said, man, the Braves never start well. So the Braves sitting at 8-13 right now does not worry me. I am nowhere near hitting the panic button on the Atlanta Braves right now. So, or in the game of baseball too, I mean, it's all about when can you get hot. The Braves got hot, last year in October. It's there. The talent's there. Brian Snickers, no Craig Cox, but he's salvageable. I get it. In baseball, sometimes things just happen. So, and that's the beauty of the game of baseball in my mind. So, I'm not hitting the panic button on them, and we'll just see what happens over the next month. Or I'll tell you at the end of May if I'm feeling we're going to repeat or not. So,
are you going to be Brian Snickers, Matt Olson?
Man, I don't know. See, I was contacted by the Braves to
Alex Anthopoulos going to call you and replace you for Snickers overnight.
I talked to him and I told him, I said, hey, I don't want to be confused with Bobby. I don't want to be Bobby's grandson or anything like that, because they'll see the last name and they'll see the prestige there in the managerial department of baseball. And I'm going to stick with my 6U Braves. I got my son out there looking like Acuna. He's swagged out there. He's got the eye black and all that. He's wearing the Bryce Harpers. So I've got to keep him in check down in 6U. So I'll let Brian take the helm of the ship up there in Atlanta, and I'll ride it out over there at JC Park.
All right. Well, it's been a good addition. Good to get back in the 865 Media Studios here. Like I said, Jake, congratulations on joining the Dad Club. You'll have many sleepless nights ahead.
Yeah, I was about to ask you, Jake, how much sleep have you not gotten?
It's not been too bad the past few nights, but a couple of nights have been pretty rough.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny because in the early stages of fatherhood, like you don't even know what day it is. You're just like, holy crap, I just have to keep this thing alive. Is it breathing? Okay, it's breathing. Okay. Did it poop? Okay, it's good there. So, I mean, I'm praying for you, buddy, but you got this.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, man, no problem. All right, Josh, you ready to get out of here?
Send it home, boys.
See ya!
Hello, win column.